It's time for the Failed Athlete Perspective. Travis Spencer, welcome back. Week 2.
John, we're back for more sports. What a weekend it was for football.
Got some decent NFL for a change.
Couple good games. Nothing great. Well, there was one great game. Actually, both Sunday games were good. I did fall asleep.
You can't say that Green Bay Dallas game wasn't great. That was a great game.
That was definitely the best game of the weekend, hands down. The Kansas City Pittsburgh game, a little bit sloppy, couldn't punch in touchdowns, but still a good game.
It was at least close. It was competitive.
All right, so let's get started right away. Atlanta. Oh, wait, let me congratulate you first. You picked all 4 games correctly.
I'm undefeated in the playoffs
done.
so far, brother.
Oh, really? You picked the first 4? Do we have that on tape? We don't have that on tape.
No,
we don't.
We don't have the first round on tape, but you're just going to have to take my word. Hey, I self-report all the time. Self-report all the time.
Did you write it down, date it, and send it to yourself so that it's sealed in an envelope?
No.
Because that's the only way I'm going to believe you.
No, I definitely didn't do that.
It's weird. Then to me, you're 4-0. Or you're 4-4, actually. I'll give you 4-4.
You're an idiot.
All right, well, I went 3-1. I mean, not bad. It was Vegas. We'll just say Vegas lost a lot of money because you could say it was kind of predictable that this was going to happen. Dallas with all the hype. Okay, we'll get into that later. Let's start with Falcons and Seattle. Seattle is a joke. They could not handle the Falcons. But the real question I want to ask you, John, are the Falcons for real? Like, are they for real, or is Seattle just not that good?
Well, hold on. I got to address your first point. Seattle is not a joke. If that game is in Seattle, that's a different ball game. You watch a different game if that game is in Seattle. But
that's correct.
Is Atlanta for real? They are this year. I'm going to just say that's what I'm going to say. They are this year. I don't think that this is a brewing dynasty, but they're for real. I'll keep
They've
it
got
short.
a ton of
we'll
weapons.
Get into it more later, but yeah, they're for real.
Taylor Gabriel has been a nice addition. You got a nice speedster to go with Julio. The
And
two backs, Tevin Coleman, and
most importantly, they are healthy.
Yeah, that's big. That's big. The offensive line is way better than it's been in the last couple of years. Don't they have who'd they bring in? Who's their center now?
Alex Mack
or somebody. Yeah, there
he's
you go.
The guy.
So they've got a proven, Pro Bowler leading the line now, where before it was Joe Hawley, who was hilarious on Hard Knocks, don't get me wrong, but maybe not the guy to lead your team.
Right, but that's not your top qualification to be an NFL center.
To be hilarious on Hard Knocks?
And
that should be the top qualification.
No, it should. No, that's why. Matt Ryan is playing out of his mind. He's finally this is the Matt Ryan that everyone envisioned him to be.
Right. Yeah, truly, I didn't watch too much of this game, and I watched almost none of the Patriots game. I was at a friggin' car dealership all day, but I watched highlights.
Baller problems.
Yeah, you know me, just balling out in the mountain. So let's move on to the next game, and then we'll get to predictions after we cover all 4 of this weekend's games. Patriots and my man Dion Lewis, who I sat on all year in the fantasy season, he didn't do anything. Finally delivers a huge 3-touchdown game over the Texans, who played better than we could have. Their defense
scored way more than I
okay.
thought they were. I honestly thought they were going to score about 6 points in that game. 2 field goals.
Right. So they at least showed up and kind of made it a game, but did you watch it? Were you ever worried that the Patriots were in trouble? No, not for a second. Right?
Every time I looked up at the score, it was always just, wow, Texans are actually hanging in. But you knew a Patriot explosion was on the way. You knew the Patriots were just, even if the Patriots had played their worst game, still probably going to be in an 8 to 15 point victory at their worst.
How scary would this Patriots team be if they had Gronk?
Well, I mean, just still scary. Yeah, I mean, scarier. But honestly, I think the biggest effect is just big plays in the red zone. But systematically, they still just do what they do. They can make anybody a star for a day.
They got it. So I mean, same with the Falcons. Just so many weapons. We see something with all 4 of these teams. Like they've got good offenses and not so good defenses. So it's like last year was the Broncos. Like it was all about the defense. Now we don't have any of those teams left. So it's going to be we should have shootouts from here on out, which is great for watching at least.
Yeah, there's no more. Yeah, there's no dominant defense left.
My favorite part of the Patriots game was safety Logan Ryan in his post-game interview. Guess what he was wearing?
A foxtail?
A Steve Nash jersey.
Oh, nice.
And he quoted it, something about saying that he was the ultimate team player, and that's why he wore the Nash jersey. Shout out to Logan Ryan. I know he had a pick.
Yeah.
I don't know what else he did, but yeah. Anytime you show up wearing a Steve Nash jersey, you get respect from 86 Charles.
I'll tell you what, even if you're wearing a Lakers Steve Nash jersey, I'll still throw you a what's up. Just because I love – hey, that's out of respect for Nash.
I'll give you a nod and be like, yeah, it's hilarious how he crippled your cap for 3 years on a $30 million contract.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why it doesn't
games.
bother me. You paid one of my favorite players a bunch of money to not play. Great. Thanks.
3 first-round picks.
Thanks, L.A.
Thanks, guys.
You guaranteed that Trevor Pennick would not see a 6th ring for Kobe Bryant. Thank you.
Have you gotten that $50 yet?
No, I don't even care if I do. The win is enough.
Right. Just next time you see me, get to shake his hand and be like, what happened?
I knew it at the time. I knew I was right at the time, and he knew I was right at the time.
Shout out to O-Town and Trevor Pennick back on tour. O-Town's alive again. You excited? Are you going?
They're never off tour, bro.
Well, they were back on tour. This year was the first time they toured in years, right?
I don't know. They're always doing shows. I don't know what any of that means. I assume it's always on tour.
O-Town's always on tour, bro.
Yeah, always.
All right, let's keep it with the sports. Let's talk about that amazing Packers-Dallas game. Definitely the best game of the weekend. Dallas came out flat.
Yeah.
Did you listen?
And more so than that, Rodgers came out hot, which didn't surprise me. I knew Rodgers was going to come out slinging dope.
It was, what was it? It was like 6 minutes left in the second quarter, and I'm pretty sure it was Buck, maybe Aikman. I think it was Buck that said, he's like, if Cowboys don't turn it around, they might look at Tony Romo. And then that's, of course, when Dak Prescott threw the touchdown to Des Bryant. Just mentioning Tony Romo's name woke up Dak Prescott, which is nice.
Dude, come on. It's even if he doesn't want to mention Tony Romo, even if in his mind he's saying there's no chance they're going to Tony Romo, he has to talk about it. Has to. Network mandate.
And honestly, if they go down another touchdown or another 10 points, like you have to look at it like, okay, well, it's not happening. Tony Romo can at least throw the ball down the field better than Dak.
If they go into halftime down 21-3, there's no way that Joe Buck or Troy Aikman's the only one talking about Tony Romo. Like that's a lot of people probably would have been.
The thing I didn't get in the first half is they went down right away, but I feel like they went away from Elliott too much. Like that's your strength. Why don't you stick with your strength, right? Like they were throwing the ball. Little dink and dunk passes that weren't going anywhere. I guess that's the knock on Dak Prescott in the first place, right?
And he was running effectively, too.
That's what I'm saying. And he ended up having like 22 carries because he had a nice second half where they gave him the ball more. But I just stick with your horse, man. He's gotten you there. He's going to get you out of the hole.
If you needed to run him 35 times, you should have been willing to do it.
Absolutely. Well, and what do you want to do in that game? You want to possess the ball. You want to keep the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hands as much as possible. As soon as they kick that field goal in overtime, you're like, 40 seconds? Guess what? Aaron Rodgers needs 5 seconds. We've seen it so many times. That catch, Jared Cook's catch on the sideline did not look like a catch at all the first time. You're like, no, he's out of bounds.
Oh, yeah,
not
I didn't think so for a second.
And the first ref thought it was out of bounds. Second ref overrules him. Like, he barely got two toes tapped in. Perfect.
Every person involved in that play, from Aaron Rodgers to Cook to the official who called it properly, tip of the cap. Couldn't have been better played.
As all the shitty games that we've suffered through.
Excellent catch, excellent officiating.
Right. All the shitty games, all the shitty plays, all the shitty officiating we've suffered through as football fans. Like, it finally pays off sometimes in the playoffs with a game like that where it's well played, you know what I'm saying? It's well officiated. For the most part, they got most of the calls right. There was a couple like that pretty terrible hold on Devontae Adams. Exactly.
They didn't in any part decide that game. And in that particular play, that was such all-around excellence that you have to give credit to everybody. That is football. Right, that particular play is a shining example of football at its finest. From athletic performance to execution to officiating, that piece right there. That's football brilliance right there.
And then when Mason Crosby comes in, they ice him the first time. He kicks the second one. It looked like it was hook and left. I was like, as soon as he kicked it, I was like, oh no, he's gonna miss. We're gonna see overtime. And then it just kind of stayed straight, right inside the upright.
He's a heck of a kicker, man.
He knuckleballed the first one in. It was ugly, but it got through.
However it gets there.
It don't matter. Yeah, it was beautiful. What a great game.
Yeah,
I honestly hope Aaron Rodgers playing out of his mind. Have you ever seen a quarterback play better than he has in the last 7 or 8 games, whatever his run is?
I mean, I'm sure Tom Brady's had that run that Brady had when they went undefeated in the regular season. That entire stretch of a season was pretty impressive.
Right, where he was hitting deep balls like Randy Moss.
I mean, you expected that guy to go for 403 touchdowns every single game.
Just how Rodgers does it, though, like, because with his mobility, he's way more exciting than
for sure,
Tom Brady.
Absolutely. No
he gets
question.
out of the pocket. He keeps playing
less
alive. Like, he's ducking
than a guy
people.
Like Brady.
He's dodging guys who are super freaks athletically, and he's just like gives them a little shimmy, and like just a split second he gets out. He knows he's going to get licked, and he still puts it on a dime. He's incredible.
What he can do with his arm, and there's not a thing quarterback wise that guy can't do.
That's maybe the most exciting thing of all is that we get to hear Joe Buck and Troy Aikman gush about Aaron Rodgers for at least one more week this year. Don't you love it? Joe Buck's golden voice.
Every throw.
Look at that arm.
Have you ever seen a guy throw a 7-yard check down like that?
All right, let's move on to the last game, and then we'll get to some predictions. Pittsburgh in a kicking fest beat the Chiefs 18-6. 6 field goals by Chris Boswell, who doesn't even kick extra points for the team. 18-16, isn't that what I said?
No, you said 6.
18-16, yeah, it was a close game. And it came down to a 2-point conversion on the end, which sucks to call holding on that. I mean, maybe it was the right call, but that sucks. You don't want to come down to a holding call in the end, you know?
A guy who was Ben Maller, I'll give him credit because he said it. He said, yes, that was holding. Absolutely was holding. No question, that was holding. The question is, do you call it in that situation? Or do you just let that play out? Because it didn't decide the game, it just extended the game.
Exactly. And that's one of the most frustrating things in football. We've all heard it a million times that literally you can call holding on every play. Yeah. Every single play, there's going to be something that's a grab or a clutch or So, come on. Let's not call it there. Let the guys play. Let's let it decide on the field, unless it's something egregious. You're pulling someone down in the end zone. Something crazy, right?
I would say in that case, swallow the whistle. Let the 2-point go and let them decide it in overtime.
John, isn't that your advice for everything though? To just swallow it.
You get a V6, and now all of a sudden you think you can talk to me however you want. Doesn't work that way. I'll take
Not
my
only do I have a V6
out there and show you what's what.
It's a 4x4. It's lifted and it's got big beefy tires, son. Bring it on. Let's take on some dirt.
And it's still your wife's car, so don't act like
this is definitely not Andrea's car. This is my car. All right, enough about that. Let's move on to some predictions. This week we've got the first game, Green Bay +4 at Atlanta. Atlanta's a 4-point favorite at home. Who you got? You got to pick the spread this time.
I got the Falcons. I think they can do it by give me 6. I think the Falcons win by 6.
You say Falcons by 6. I'm going to take Green Bay and the 4 points. I think Green Bay is going to win. I say Green Bay is going to win by a field goal, just like they did in the last game. So I'll take the Packers and 4 points because I want to see my man Aaron Rodgers in the Super Bowl.
If it were in Green Bay, I would absolutely take Green Bay. But it's in Atlanta. Atlanta's healthier. I'm going to go Atlanta, and I think they can get them by 6.
Look how we saw it this week. Look how dynamic Green Bay is in a dome. Obviously at home they have that advantage.
Look at what they needed to get that done. That Jared Cook catch, they had a lot of huge plays in that game. And
their defense was
I just got to feel like their luck
garbage down the stretch. Their defense was garbage down the stretch. Like that,
sure was.
To give up that field goal was unbelievable. Like, you got the game. All you need are like a couple stops, and right away, like that catch that they gave up to Terrence. What's his name? Terrence Williams.
Yeah.
Like, where's their secondary has been so beat up all year.
And that offensive line is banged up too, man. Rodgers took some hits.
Yeah.
Right. It's like I gotta. For some reason, I just feel like it's all gonna kind of catch up. I don't think they get blown out or anything, but I think the injuries. I think a little bit of the magic has to wear off.
Let me just say that this weekend coming up is actually my favorite weekend of football because you get 2 great games. played at a high level. You don't have to deal with there's plenty of hype, don't get me wrong, but not Super Bowl hype. And it's not, the Super Bowl is it's a 12-hour broadcast. Ugh.
Oh,
the game itself.
You say that, but they do that because of us. We all created that. So you can't.
No, it's gross. You can say it's gross. It's just too big now. Halftime's 4 hours. Like, it's so stupid. Like, I get it. Of course, it's the biggest money-making. But, like, so this weekend, for purists, I think this is obviously the best weekend of football of the year, right?
For purists. Your boy Joe Buck will say the exact same thing. Do you think he's a purist?
Yeah, he is.
You know, for most people, they'll say these games are actually better than the Super Bowl.
Come on. What, dude, let me have my lukewarm take.
You talk
Let me
about
have my lukewarm take.
You talk about a lukewarm take.
Hey, football is nice in the playoffs. Yeah. All right, other game. Pittsburgh at New England. New England is favored by 5.5 points. Who you got?
Definitely New England. I'm going to take New England by 7. Although, you know what? No. I'm going to scale that back. New England by 4.
You're going to take New England? I mean, you don't have to give me the exact points. But so you're saying New England is going to win but not cover.
New England wins but doesn't cover. How about that?
So you're technically taking Pittsburgh plus 5.5.
Right, but I think New England's going to win.
I'm gonna take New England plus or minus the 5.5. I think they're gonna cover. I think they'll win by a touchdown. Pittsburgh is struggling in the red zone. New England's defense isn't as good as Kansas City's, but I don't know why they're struggling so much in the red zone. They would seemingly be able to move the ball at will, and then they'd get inside the 40 or 30, and then they just couldn't make plays anymore. I don't know what's going on.
The red zone's hard to score in, dude.
What?
The red zone's hard to score in.
They weren't even in the red zone when they were shutting down. At least get I can get it if you're at the 15 or at the 5 and the defense starts swarming. But hey, Pittsburgh, Le'Veon Bell is incredible. I love his running style. He's fun to watch. Just get in the hole, wait for something. Come on. Who?
Antonio Brown.
Oh, Antonio Brown. Yeah, absolutely. But I don't know. Something's Ben Roethlisberger isn't as good this year as he has been in the past. I don't know what it is, whether he's probably harboring like 17 injuries that we don't even know about, right?
He's off of foot surgery like 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, totally. He's just goes out and plays every week.
He was less healthy than this, but he's not 100% by any means.
All right, so this sets up, I think both of us have the same Super Bowl then. Oh, no, you have the Falcons and the Patriots.
I've got Atlanta and
I've got Packers and Patriots. But honestly, wouldn't you rather see the Packers and the Patriots? That's a better Super Bowl, right?
No. What do you mean, honestly? Heck no.
You want to see the Falcons?
Dude, that Falcons offense is awesome. Come on, you're telling me that's not a fun offense to watch? And you don't want to see how Belichick has to scheme against those running backs?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
and Matty Ice and Tom Brady, the 2 top MVP candidates? Come on, that's a great matchup.
Nobody cares about Atlanta. We all care about Aaron Rodgers because I see him on every friggin' commercial.
You're
He's
such
the
a
new
star
Peyton Manning.
effer. You can't even help yourself.
Oh man, how about Aaron Rodgers' amazing acting in that latest State Farm commercial where he's sitting in the car, him and Randall Cobb. He sees his house burning and he's like, "Oh, someone should call the fire department."
I mean, he is an incredible actor. Don't get me wrong.
Incredible,
him and
amazing
Clay
actor.
Were a tour de force.
Oh yeah, and the other one with golf. What were they golfing in the house or something?
In the locker room. Nobody.
Oh, trying to hit the fly. I'm telling you, how can you not want that on Super Bowl Sunday? We want.
Not that I don't want it.
Full
I just
coverage.
Don't predict it.
Let's blow it out.
It happens.
All right. Well, go Packers. Go Patriots. Bye Cowboys. It's been such a good season.
Yeah. Deuces.
Do you have anything else to say to the Cowboys?
See ya.
What's going to happen with Tony Romo real fast? Where's he going?
Off the top of my head, Denver, maybe Houston.
Yeah, I have a hard time. Well, I guess the Osweiler contract isn't as bad because I think after next year he literally comes off the books. Like, it's not guaranteed after next year.
Right.
So maybe they would invest more money in him
next year to get rid of him.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Cowboys might actually hold on to him and then wait to get as much when somebody panics beginning of the season when the quarterback goes down.
He's starting the season with a team. There's no way. He's starting the season with a team.
All right. Well, let's make a friendly $5 bet on that. I'm going to say
that easy. I'll take your 5.
Tony Romo will be a Cowboy.
No. Tony Romo's not a Cowboy
week
anymore.
One.
He has suited up in that star for the last time.
All right, let's write that down. Tony Romo, week 1 status. All right, that's a bet. Air shake. All right, let's move on to some head coaching changes in the NFL, John. A bunch of guys I've never heard of are now coaches in the NFL. Are you excited?
I don't know if excited is the word. I think, you know what, the hire I do like is the McVay hire in L.A. I say, you know what, take a young guy, especially if you think he's going to be little Gruden. Take him. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
And
I thought that was a breath of fresh air.
They justified it by having Wade Phillips as his defensive coordinator. That is huge.
And that's great.
Is,
bring in a proven coordinator. I totally thought. I think everybody thought that they were going to go out and drop like $60 million on Sean Payton or something stupid, right? So let's grow this team up and let the young LA fans hopefully grow with a team that can become decent down the stretch. I mean, I hate the Rams and I hope they burn in hell, but at least for the fan base, I think this is the better move than bringing in a bunch of big names and then watching them fail miserably again, right?
Well, I don't even know who they would have. I don't think that big name was out there to bring in. They weren't going to get. I mean, no one's getting Gruden. Everyone thinks that, okay, they're going to bring Gruden out of the booth. Dude's not leaving the booth.
Everybody has a price. If they offered him a certain amount of money, you got to figure.
Disagree. Bill Cowher never came back. I was one of the people that thought for sure he was going to come back.
I don't know, man. Everybody's got a price.
I disagree. Yes, if they were doing nothing at all, I might agree with you. But they've got cushy jobs that they enjoy that pay them millions of dollars, and they don't have to work 18 hours a day.
Right, it's a lot easier.
They get to see their families and their wives and have actual lives. And they're not grinding themselves down to a nub just so they can get fired because they went 9-7.
You think these guys live their whole life in football, so now that they're not competitive anymore?
No, I think I think you can only burn the candle at both ends for so long. And I think at some point, not that they don't have competitive fire, but you would start to you get older, you start to enjoy your life outside of smashing heads together. What
do you think of the new LA Chargers logo?
It's a work in progress, and that's just being kind.
How does LA?
I don't know why you even keep the same bolt and just throw an LA behind it. I don't get why. What's the science behind that?
Well, it's the same thing with the Clippers. How does LA, with all the money and all the designers in the world, come up with that logo?
Yeah,
it's I just don't get it. It's awful. How start more basic.
It's not like you had to scribble that out on a napkin right before the presser. There was
Brooklyn,
a lot of resources
Brooklyn did great
put behind that.
The Nets logo, all that stuff was great when they went to Brooklyn. How is that? Why is that so difficult, LA? I don't get it. Brooklyn did great. Even the Rockets did great. That's actually the Rockets logo is shout out to who's the old regular that we had that designed that logo? Do you remember at the Wood Ranch? Richard. Shout out to Richard. He designed that logo.
I had no idea.
Did you know that
was a thing?
Richard designed the Rockets logo, and he's now designing the stadium in Golden State, San Francisco Stadium. It's incredible.
Nice. Very cool.
Shout out to Rich. So the only job left, John, is the 49ers. Who's going to get that job?
My prediction is Kyle Shanahan from the Falcons.
Right. So they're just waiting for him to get through the playoffs. They're waiting for Aaron Rodgers to beat him this week, and then you think after Sunday he'll be hired.
The Shanahan family has a relationship with San Francisco, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't Mike Shanahan come through San Francisco at some point?
I'm pretty sure he's from the Bill Walsh coaching tree, right?
I believe I want to say he was involved. Yes.
I have the internet in front of me, but I don't feel like looking it up.
San Fran is my prediction on that one.
All right, I'm not gonna argue with you on that one. The only other thing, Kyle Shanahan's never been a head coach, right?
No.
So that's the trend, right? To hire guys who've never been coaches before. So that makes sense.
I still feel like they want an offensive guy. He's definitely
that worked out so well. What's up with what's gonna happen to Chip Kelly?
I mean, honestly, he may take a year off, and then if he doesn't get offered another NFL position, if he's not willing to be if he's not willing to be an NFL coordinator, which I think he would have to do to stay in the NFL, then I think it's back to head coaching in college.
I got a lukewarm take, John.
Ooh, hit me.
Chip Kelly will be a Patriots coordinator next year, running the offensive coordinator.
Next year?
Well, maybe not, because I was assuming when I first thought that Josh McDaniels would be gone. But it looks like he turned down the 49ers job, or he at least took his name out of the running. So that would not open up So when that opens up,
lukewarm take to a half-baked take.
Half-baked and lukewarm? That sounds delicious.
No. God, what a terrible prediction that was.
It's
coming. You want to lose another
$5?
$5?
No, not yet, because this is a lukewarm half-baked,
yeah,
and it might be next year.
It's like Chip Kelly's not going to be a coordinator next year. Not happening.
It could be. But if he was going to be a coordinator on any team, it would definitely be the Patriots.
I don't even know why you say that.
Wow. Bill Belichick, man, he always zigs when you think he's going to zag.
If I can get Chip Kelly to be a coordinator, I'm in Tennessee saying, hey, you want to come run your old boy?
Yeah, but why would Chip Kelly want to go work for whoever the hell Tennessee's coach is?
Why would he want to go work for anybody? He's got a massive
Bill Belichick
ego.
Is the master. He wouldn't want to go work for Emperor Palpatine. Is that his name? Palpatine?
It would make more sense for Chip Kelly to go work for Nick Saban then.
No. That could happen too. That'd be interesting. But
No.
if he's going to college, I'm saying he could swallow his pride possibly and become a coordinator in the NFL, but he's not going back to college to become a coordinator.
I disagree. I think he would sooner be a head coach in college than he would be a coordinator in the NFL.
Yeah, I agree with that. But if he's going to be a coordinator anywhere, it's the NFL, obviously.
Yeah, sure. I'm just going to let you have that because I don't want to keep going back and forth.
Lukewarm takes with Travis.
Half-baked take.
Lawn Babby is a bloody wanker.
John, finally we got one very important story to update. My man, Devin Booker, back-to-back 39-point games in Mexico City. If the Suns played all their games in Mexico City, they might be a 500 team right now.
I was going to say they'd still be 500.
Hey, I'll take 500. And guess who's creeping up out of the basement? One game better than Dallas. Right on the heels of those Lakers, bro. Suns are coming.
Yeah.
Beat the Spurs, 39 points. Kawhi put up 38.
Very surprising.
Booker, he looks good, but he's not. You can't build a franchise around him. He can be your number 2, I think.
He's not
We've
a franchise
already talked
player.
about this, obviously. But, yeah, we need – come on, 39 back-to-back games. That's pretty exciting.
Sure.
Drinking Mexican water. Only drinking Mexican Coke because you can't even drink water down there. So they're just hydrating on Mexican water and squirt.
Real Coke.
And cocaine. Yeah, of course.
Coca-Cola.
Why do you think he was?
No.
Oh, real Coke. Okay, gotcha.
Real Coke.
Are you excited about Devin Booker's 39-point outburst?
It's nice. I'm not excited. No, I'm not excited about that. It's like, yeah, great, nice. You're still 9 players away from a team.
You're so jaded, John. I can't talk to you anymore.
No,
you know what time it is.
That ownership is infuriating.
Yeah,
and I'm too old to waste. I'm too old to waste my time for billionaires who don't know what they're doing.
I hope Steve Nash puts together a team of owners and they come in and buy the team, and then he can run it. That's the only hope. It's the only hope.
I hope Steve Nash goes in and kicks the dude's door down and just takes it from him. Just bullies him out of his team.
Yeah, that's how it works, bro.
It could.
Well, like I said, I said this last week on the pod, that we need to set up Robert Server.
Yes.
Just like the Clippers owner. Let's call him a racist. Let's get him kicked out. It'll be awesome.
Well, Jesse
John,
has a
that time again.
relationship with Donald Sterling. Maybe we could use Jesse as the bait to set up Server.
Jesse's abs have been touched several times by Donald Sterling. Like I served Donald Sterling. He never touched me. I don't know what it is, Jesse. You got those eyes, bro. Beautiful eyes. All right, John, it's time to 86 something. Hopefully sports related.
Oh no,
what
I've
are you
already got
86ing?
it. I'm ready this week since our on-air unprofessional discussion. 86, Tony Romo from the Cowboys. I already had that one loaded.
Ooh, that's exciting. Week 1, I'll see you on the Cowboys, Tony.
No chance. You're as wrong as you usually are.
And that's enough.
And I'm headed out west, sucker, because I wanna be a cowboy, baby. With a top left